Today we are back for another Western of Chicago property home tour. And today we're again in Aurora. This time we are on the east side of Aurora. To give you a little context, if you're familiar with Aurora, we're just a little bit east of downtown and the river, kind of between downtown Aurora and Phillips Park. And a lot of these houses, especially the areas that are close to the downtown Aurora area on the east side and on the west side, were built in the early 1900s. So this house actually built right in the 1900s. And I always love getting in old houses like this because it gives you a perspective on how people used to live. You always see like, okay, this was probably added on at some point, or this room was originally used for this and they changed it to this. Because back 126 years now ago, people lived much differently. Their needs were much different. And then the houses have adapted over time as people's living styles and needs and everything changes. So this one is on the east side of Aurora, again, built in 1900. It is a cute little two-story house here. So we walk up, we got that front porch, of course, that great American flag right there. And we'll go around to the side of the house, but you can see here, it's gonna be much different than some of the other houses that we've done in Aurora, mainly because a lot of these yards are just really large, right? East side of Aurora, west side of Aurora, these houses that are close to downtown are gonna have just very large lots. Whereas when you get into like the time periods of the 50s, 60s, 70s, 90s, 2000s, they started making the houses a little bit closer together, yards a little bit smaller, and that's why you get these sort of big lots here. So we start here in this one-car garage. It does have electricity ran out here. You know, these houses were built at a time where cars, well, this one probably cars weren't even invented yet, right? So there wasn't a need for a garage. So most of these houses that are older and on the east side and the west side, the garage is an add-on, whether it's a single car or a two car, you know, it was just an add-on. And, you know, because they didn't need the car. So they added them on later once cars started becoming a little more popular. This house here, you can see there is an alley back there where you could, you know, that house there has a garage. Some of the people have built garages along the alley, but this one has the driveway space, but just a really large yard and a large lot. This is one other thing I love about the old houses. A lot of them have the cellar doors, and you'll see when we get inside, they'll convert and put the stairs on the inside. But when the house was first built, that was the only way to access the basement, was those cellar doors. You'd have to come outside. It was more of a storm shelter. Owners of houses didn't use doors or basements like they do now, where, you know, now you build a basement specifically in mind to finish them. Back then, it was more just the storage of the house, a place to go, you know, if there was a bad storms or whatever. Canning cellars, they were used for a lot, to put all the canning supplies and your preservatives and everything to store down there and last, because it'd be kind of a cool place throughout the year. So very different way of using basements, which is why a lot of them did not have access from the inside. And you'll notice a lot of the houses, when they do get access from the inside, they're kind of retrofitted and snuck in there over the years. So nice front porch. This was probably a closed-in porch at one point, and over the years it's been closed in. It doesn't have any heating or cooling, but really cool just spot to sit outside. Look for the ice cream man. You can kind of hear the ice cream man coming, right? Kids can sit out there, wait for that ice cream man to come down the street, and then run outside and grab themselves a nice little tasty treat. That's what I love about Aurora and the suburbs. You still get the ice cream man going by. All right, as you come into the house, it's very open, right? It's very grand kind of entrance. Got the hardwood floors. That old school, like thin planked hardwood floors, these have been refinished to have a really nice modern finish, modern feel. But one thing you don't get in a lot of these houses is just the trim work, or I should say a lot of these modern houses is the trim work, right? I mean, this trim work, it's been painted over a little bit, but that's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bunch of 6, maybe 7 pieces that have all kind of been handcrafted and put together. And you just don't find the craftsmanship and the trim work like that anymore in modern construction or new build, unless you get to like possibly a really high, ultra high-end house. But even this, I mean, that's just not one piece of wood, right? It's really put together and has a really nice touch on everything. So you walk in, open living room, kind of hangout area. A lot of times now, modern days, we have TVs, right? But back then, obviously no TVs. So this would kind of be just the sitting room. You know, maybe you had a radio, but you're reading, you know, next to the lamp or doing, you know, games, hanging out, all that sort of stuff. And then this would be your main dining room right here. That's probably the same. A lot of people now kind of use their kitchen area for their mostly dining room, eating area. But now this one actually has kind of the formal dining room space. So this one's a little small for a table in the kitchen, but you could really get a nice large table for family gatherings and everything. And then you have, you know, a bedroom here on the main level. So this is a 4-bedroom house. There are 3 bedrooms upstairs. This could be used as a bedroom. It has the closet. Now, probably back when the house was first built, this was more like a den or an office, right? A little private sitting area, but you could use that currently as a bedroom, as you do have a full bath off the kitchen here. So walking into this kitchen, recently remodeled kitchen. It's got a dishwasher, the island countertops, really good appliances. Nice fridge with the built-ins here. And then a little nook. You could fit a little table in here. It's probably, you know, it would be tight to get 4 people in here, but you could fit a little table, or if you're working from home, a little desk overlooking that great backyard with the nice sunshine. And then here we have the first floor full bathroom as well. It's got the walk-in shower, tub, or no tub, but toilet, and the sink there. So we're gonna start in the basement before we go upstairs, just because we're here. But you can kind of see, like, when this house was originally built, these stairs were probably not here and more of an afterthought. And you get in, and it's just, you know, it's a basement, right? When the house was built, they weren't expecting to finish it. Now a bathroom has been, you know, retrofitted and added to the house. But when it was first constructed, it was served just to be the basement and the guts of the house, and you know, where to go if there was a storm, as you can kind of see with the cellar door there. But it wasn't designed, basements and houses weren't designed 100 plus years ago with the intent of actually future finishing them. And so you won't get as high of ceilings. You'll get just concrete floors. It's always cool to see the old posts, which are actually just like logs of wood, right? And just how they constructed houses back in the day. So as we head back upstairs, we'll go through the kitchen and then we'll head to the upstairs of the home. Very clean home, some good finishes. Actually, before we go upstairs, let's show you this part here. Again, this was probably over the 125 years added on at some point, right? This little sitting room area. You could use it as a, you know, 3 seasons room, playroom for the kids, another office if you wanted it to. Probably couldn't use it much in the winter as an office because it would get too cold, but still extra added space. But with these older houses, you'll see, you kind of see like they've been added on to. Porches have become living spaces. Rooms have been converted to other things. And they just have really unique characters and really unique design as living styles and houses have evolved over the years. So we'll head upstairs here. And upstairs we're gonna have 3 bedrooms. So we got bedroom 1 with the closet. Got a little bit of attic access there. Bedroom 2 with a closet. This is probably your master. I guess with the only bathroom being on the first floor, your master might be that first room that's down there kind of off the kitchen. But this is the biggest room that you could use as a master. And then here, room number 3. So good sized rooms, good sized closets. And again, kind of unlike the house that's the houses that were on the west side of Aurora, right, where it's like, hey, in these subdivisions, there's, you know, this kind of ranch home or this kind of 2-story home, and I'll link those tours in the description below. On these older homes that were built, you know, in the 1920s here on the east side, and even on the west side of Aurora, that's closer to downtown, the older homes, they're not anywhere the same, right? A lot of them were built just custom. It was very affordable. Well, I shouldn't say affordable, but the prices were much different to be able to just build a house. So you'll get a lot of different unique layouts, different styles, because people were building them. And there wasn't kind of like the big developers that were coming in and building like these 7 models. So if I'm walking you through this house on the east side of Aurora, we can go across the street and probably get 5 different vibes and 5 different houses. Now there are some sections where there are like some of the Sears houses you could probably find, or some of those Sears type houses, where a lot of them are gonna be similar. But a lot of the early 1900s houses are gonna be, you know, a 1-bathroom type situation. You'll get a lot where it's all 1 level with a really large attic. You walk into the house thinking this is gonna be a 2-story house, but the attics are really large, and sometimes they're converted with some living space up there. So people have just gotten creative over the 100+ years of the existence of the home and how they're using this space. So thanks for following along on another tour with me. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel as we continue to do property home tours, talk with business owners, and learn about the real estate market, all in the western suburbs of Chicago.